everybody. Welcome. It is May the 3rd, first Friday of May. I haven't seen you guys. It's a long time no see. I haven't seen you guys in a long time. It's been 2 months since we did a public live stream, I guess. We missed the last one because I was up in Burlington, Vermont watching the Eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
It was awesome,
Pretty
right?
insane.
Yeah, so, welcome. And today, I just want to let you know what we're going to do, and then we're going to go off. I'm going to talk to you about some sales and whatnot. I've been working, I just heard myself. I've been working very, very diligently, which is one of the reasons we had to go to a first Friday of every month live stream. I've been working very diligently trying to get our animated short Snow Bear finished. I'm the only one making it. I'm the one artist that's making it. So every piece of art is being done by me. So it's going extremely slow, but we're very close. We're getting so close to finishing it, and I'm very excited about that. But today I thought it might be interesting. I know you guys have just been seeing me working on Snow Bear forever, but I thought it'd be fun to do some backgrounds with you today, because I know there's a lot of interest out there on how do you make animated backgrounds, which, by the way, we have a course from Armand Serrano at creatureartteacher.com on how to do backgrounds.
Which is 50% off right now.
And it's 50% off, yeah. I'm going to take you through kind of the first section of Snow Bear, and I'll show you what I'm doing, and then we're going to get in there and rework some backgrounds. I'm trying to push some of the drama, add more ice and glaciers and all that kind of stuff. And so that's what we're going to work on today. But before we get to that, I've got Dustin over one shoulder. I've got Nick over the other shoulder.
Hello.
And I'm going to throw it over to Nick, and he's going to let you guys know what we got going on over at the site.
Yeah, so first off, we've got a big sale going on because we've got a brand new course from Joey Mildenberger out. Our 2D effects animation course, long awaited, is finally available. It came out this week. You can get it at creatureartteacher.com/2D effects, or just go right to the homepage and you'll see a slide. It is 50% off for a limited time. It's over nearly 12 hours of content. He takes you through how to draw water, fire, smoke, magic, kind of special effects stuff, rock slides. Joey's incredible. The course is already getting great reviews, and he has been an animator in effects for almost 40 years.
Oh, yeah, 1985. He started on
American Tail.
American Tail. Yeah, so he's been around, and he's great.
He's got over 40 feature film credits.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, when we got into this business, one of the big things I wanted to do, as part of the business is get instructors that are active and working in the industry that are relevant. And so you can't get more relevant than Joey as far as the number of
Yeah,
films
he actually, I was just looking at his IMDb. He just did some stuff on the Dead Boy Detective show, which is out right now on Netflix.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Really?
Yeah.
yep. He worked on Nimona, all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah.
And then in celebration of that, we've got an animation sale going on. All of the courses on our website, all of the animation courses are 40% off or more. In fact, a lot of them are 60% off or more. So the minimum you're going to save is 40%, all the way up to 75%. We've still got a couple of courses that are just $1. So
That's crazy, man. I got to pay my mortgage.
go check it out. Well, creatureartteacher.com.
All right,
Let's dive into it.
let's dive in. So
Right, let's do this.
these are actually these images right here that I'm showing you. These are the first 3 shots of the film, the first 3 backgrounds. So this one I just finished with our group that gets together every Tuesday and Thursday over on the site. If you become a member, you can. I live stream every Tuesday and Thursday me making Snow Bear. And so go on over to Creature Art Teacher to become a member, and you can join me 10 a.m. every Tuesday and Thursday, except this last Thursday, my internet went out. But we're back, obviously. And so this one I did last Tuesday, or this past Tuesday. And what I'm trying to do is, as I've been watching Snow Bear over the last several months of making it, or actually a couple of years now, I was starting to realize, I was looking at the beginning, I realized I really wanted to push the drama and the ice, the cold, the desolation in the beginning. And I thought, you know what? The Arctic has got glaciers, big glaciers, and it's unique to the Arctic. And I realized I didn't have any glaciers in the film. So I've gone in and went into the existing backgrounds, and the original version of this was just a valley. Well, here I went ahead and put a glacier in, and then for shot 2, this is shot 1. For shot 2, I roughed out, and this is still rough. We got to finish this one today. A shot like in the glacier, kind of looking down through it with a little panning camera. I thought that would be cool. And then our third shot is this big ice wall that is huge scale. And we first see our polar bear, very tiny, walking along the bottom. And so that's going to be our intro to our polar bear. So these are the 3 shots. This one still needs to be done because this is just a rough sketch over the old background. And the same with, move that, same with this one. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So now let me show you in the reel what they look like. Once again, keep in mind shot number 2 and shot number 3 they're just roughs. I know it's going to look somewhat finished, but we still have some rendering to do. So let me pull this up. We'll show you. Now, I don't have any sound because I don't want to be flagged for the music. So we're going to hear a lot of wind, blizzardy sounds. Here's our first shot with all the effects and the animation. Here's our panning shot with the shot that we're going to work on today. And then in this final shot, we have all this fog and mist going by, and that reveals a big scale shot of our polar bear walking along the ice there down on the bottom. And so when I pause this, you can see the ice up top, how it's just kind of rough sketched. We got to get in there, and I got to render that and make it nice and pretty. And so I want to make that look like this, all nice and finished. Okay, so that's what we're doing.
It is complete.
And as always, if you all have any questions or comments, let us know in the comments, please, and we will relay them to Aaron.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this background, this one right here, and I'm going to move it up to my other screen.
Castro on Facebook wants to know if you've seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes yet.
I was just about to ask that.
Kingdom? No, it's not out yet, is it?
I didn't think it was.
I don't think so.
No, I thought it came out May 10th.
Let me check on that.
It might be out in Europe. If she's in Europe, maybe it's out there, but it's not here. It's not out here in the States yet.
Rada wants to know, can you share how to make cell animation digitally?
This is what I'm doing. We are making cell animation digitally. So I work in software called TV Paint, and which, by the way, I've got a different shot up right now. But TV Paint works digitally, and if you go, take me just
Go to the face cam.
go to just face cam.
Oh, yes. There we go.
Okay, am I safe?
Yep. I'll
Okay.
tell you when to take it back.
Yes. Sorry, I was getting some comment
Okay.
pages opened up.
Yep. You can go back to regular desk.
All right.
So I've got some. So one of the things we're doing with Snow Bear is I'm not streaming how I'm making the last half because I still want some surprises, and so I had a shot from the end up. I didn't want you guys to see it. I want to keep it a surprise. But this is TV Paint. I'm going to open that up, and what it does is it opens up. I've got a shot ready to go, and it works just like cell animation. I can draw like this. Let me just grab a pencil. I got a pencil brush right there. And let's say we've got a ball right here. And then I'm going to do another one. And I can even turn on onion skin so I can see where that ball is. And then I'm going to make another one. And just like cell animation or paper animation, I'm doing drawings, right? That are going to move. And I can come down here on the bottom and I can scrub back and forth. And we can see the animation just like so. See that? And I can add a background, which will the animation will sit on top of the background. So it's like cell animation, but it's digital. It's virtual. And it's a great tool. I highly recommend TV Paint animation software.
Speaking of which, we're going to be at Annecy in June. This will be our first trip, Aaron's first trip ever to Annecy, mine as well.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be there, make sure you find us because we're going to be at the TV Paint booth and they're going to be unveiling TV Paint 12.
Yes.
Ooh. Fancy. We got a two-part question from two different folks here. From Martin.
Just real quick, So one of the things about this shot, I've got 3 different levels. When you saw it play, everything moved independently, so I can turn off these levels, and I'm going to paint it one level at a time. Go ahead, Dustin.
From Martin and Zelji. So Martin first asks, "Have you seen the Lion King 2 Mufasa trailer? What do you think
Yes,
about it?"
I'm excited for it.
And Zelji followed up with, "Travis worked on that, didn't he?"
He did briefly for
I
a little bit. Yeah.
I think he boarded on it, and so did David Coleman.
Yeah. David Coleman was like one of the lead guys on it. I think he brought Travis on.
Yeah,
For a little bit.
and I also think isn't Mark Mancina scoring it?
Yes.
Yeah, Mark Mancina, who is also scoring our film Snow Bear, I believe, is scoring Mufasa. As
Yes,
well.
he is, as well as Moana 2 and the Moana live action. And of course,
He's a busy man, which is why we have to wait until August before we can score Snow Bear.
Is TV Paint similar to Adobe Animate? Yes and no, in that they're both animation software. They have some overlap as a result, but Adobe Animate is vector based, whereas TV Paint is bitmap. So TV Paint's a little bit more like drawing on traditional paper, whereas Adobe Animate is more used for like the Cartoon Network style vectory looking stuff. If that makes sense. You can do other stuff in it, but that's I'm speaking generally. How long will the final film be, and are we going to be able to watch it on YouTube?
It will be 10 minutes and 23 seconds long as of now. That's without credits.
It may change.
Ultimately, yes, we'll be able to show you on YouTube. But in the beginning, in order for it to qualify for certain awards, and if we want it to qualify for any kind of Oscar run or anything like that, which it would be very nice if we could get considered for something like that. We have to let it run in a theater and those types of things. So there's a few things we have to do before we can release it to the public.
A couple of questions. Rada has a follow-up. Is cell animation possible with something like Procreate Dreams?
Well, yeah, because Procreate Dreams thinks in the same way that I was just showing with TV Paint.
Yes, it's just
So you
very
can layer,
similar.
you can stack up your layers just like you would with cell animation. You have a background in the back, you have a character layer, you can have another background element layer, you can have all kinds of stuff.
You can get Aaron's course on Procreate Dreams for just $1 right now, and I posted a link in the comments.
Am is wondering, is there a $1 animation course?
I just said there's a $1 animation course.
Is there a $1 animation course? That answers the question.
Actually, Aaron's paper animation course is also $1 right now. So.
A comment on YouTube says, "Hello everyone. It
Hello.
looks amazing so far. Can't wait to see the final animation. Question: how long will it be? And also, are we going to be able to watch it on YouTube?" You already answered that one.
You're
I'm looking at the wrong one.
You're an idiot.
I'm an idiot. No, I was actually I meant for the one below it. Artsy. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Hi, Aaron. This is watching your streams. I'm trying to publish my first story called Newbie. It's also about saving the bees. How do you publish a illustrated book?
You're reading YouTube questions.
Yes, I'm going back and forth between YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, okay. No, I just do that. That's fine.
Well, I mean, you can self-publish, which is what we do. As far as getting publishers, I don't know much about that. Nick might know more than I do, but I don't know much about any of that. We self-publish, and Nick actually can probably speak to that a little bit more than I can.
I mean, that's really just about working with a printer.
Yeah.
Finding a quality printer. Our first book, Aaron's Art of, which is a good time. Where's volume 2? It's a good time to mention this. Volume 1 is sold out. We did that with a company called Print Ninja, and they did an incredible job. Those books were produced in China, and the only reason we didn't go with them again was because that was back during COVID, and we had a bunch of shipping delays. So for Volume 2, we went with a company in the U.S., which was a little bit more expensive, but not much. and frankly, they did an incredible job. So we're equally happy with both volumes. And actually, if you're in the US, we're actually running a sale right now this weekend. I think we've got a slide for this, Dustin. The Art of Aaron Blaze Volume 2. This weekend, you can still get free shipping if you, that's not the right slide. If you use code, do you have it or did you not?
I don't see it.
Anyway, use code USA Books and you go to creatureartteacher.com. You can get The Art of Aaron Blaze Volume 2 with free shipping, a signed copy this weekend.
And Erica says both books are amazing.
Oh, thanks, Erica. I think I have one down here. I think there might be one down in behind all the stuff, unless I'm wrong. Underneath. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going in now. There's a couple of things I want to think about as I'm doing this. I want to make sure my shapes don't repeat. And if you look here, I've got repeating shapes they're looking a little too similar, so I want to make sure I break that up. Now with my overlays, it's going to change things a fair amount, so that changes the composition. Let's go to just me, Dustin.
Yes.
Here's the book.
There we go.
Yeah, here's our book. Is it that camera? Yes. So this is it's 250 pages and
It's huge.
full of all kinds of illustrations, paintings, filmmaking images, character design images, personal paintings, traditional media, digital media, all kinds of stuff. And so that is available right now.
Lots of fantastic artwork, folks. Absolutely fantastic.
And we're actually getting low in stock on this book. So the volume 1 sold out. So if you're interested in owning a signed copy, we are getting extremely low. Go to creatureartteacher.com/books. You've probably gotten this question a lot. This is from Instagram. But do you think that 2D animation will ever make a comeback as a popular format for animated movies?
I think it's already here. I think 2D animation. Now, it's not going to be, I don't ever see it being the same as it was in the 90s, but 2D never went away. It's just, we've had other mediums, other versions of animation kind of fill in and kind of take up some space, like CG and that sort of thing. So I don't think it'll ever be the main platform or the main medium like it was in the 90s, but it's never going to go away either. And like I said, I don't think it ever really left. It's just that, it got fewer and fewer, because the big companies that were making it, Disney and Warner Brothers and DreamWorks, they moved on to different mediums. And so that tended to make everyone feel like, oh, well, there's no more 2D animation. And that's just not the case. A lot of smaller studios, Cartoon Saloon and whatnot, that are making feature 2D animated films. And so that's going to continue. And if we have anything to say about it, we're going to keep doing it as well.
YouTube question. Hi, I love your work. I'm about to grad from university, and I was wondering if background/concept art industry has a lot of jobs available still.
I assume yes, and I know, like, for instance, I know Disney right now is hiring. I just saw on Facebook that they're hiring. So
during the strike, there was a big slowdown, but it seems to be starting to come back around. The animation industry definitely runs in cycles.
Yeah,
for sure.
Who inspired you to become a 2D animator?
I fell into it. So I wanted to be a painter and an illustrator. I wanted to work for National Geographic. And when that fell through, I was looking at other options. And so this is when I was in college, and I discovered that Disney, for the first time, was looking at bringing students in from outside of animation, because I wasn't going to school for animation. They wanted to see if they could bring students in and train them, and that was back in 1988. And so I thought it would be interesting. I'd never thought about animation before, but I thought it was an interesting idea, and so I put together a portfolio and was accepted into this intern program where I was taught by an animator by the name of Glenn Keane. And for those of you that don't know who Glenn Keane is, he's one of the top contemporary animators alive today. And he was very inspiring, very just an incredible artist. And I was very lucky to be matched up with him because he's the one that really inspired me to keep doing what I'm doing. And animation's hard. I up to that point, I had been, the art that I was doing kind of came easy to me. And so when I started animating, it was very difficult. I couldn't get it done right. And it was frustrating me to the point where I was contemplating quitting and going back to illustration. But it was Glenn that really inspired me to, he came and talked to me and said, look, just keep plugging at it. You're going to break through. It's going to click for you at some point. And sure enough, it clicked. And so I credit him with keeping me on track. So here, I want all this to feel like it's in shadow. So I want to make sure that my value structure, my value range stays within a certain range. It needs to stay, I don't want to get too bright with any of my highlights within the shadow. Otherwise, it won't feel like a shadow anymore. So I gotta be conscious of all of that as I paint this snow and ice.
I've been looking at background art from Disney and noticed they use broken perspective, such as Notre Dame, Dalmatian, Sword of Stone. What is the rationale for deciding when to break perspective?
Well, they're not breaking perspective. They're bending perspective to match what the camera is seeing. And often what you're looking at is a long pan. And so they want it to feel as if you're pivoting a lot of times around a shot, a scene. And, in live action, you literally just pivot the camera to get that feel. But in animation, we have to take a flat background and bend it in a way that's going to give the same effect. And so as you move through or pan, your perspective is going to change. And you have to figure that out and do it on the flat artwork so that when the camera is focused on a certain part of that background and it moves through, it's going to feel like you're actually pivoting. Okay, and that's why sometimes it gets really kind of distorted. And the way you can test something like that is if you look at one of those backgrounds, just make like a little frame and start at one part and move your way through. Look at films like Pinocchio and Bambi because they're full of shots like that. And like you said, Hunchback and all that. They're really great as far as that goes. Hunchback's got a really good one where the birds fly through and all that.
Oh yeah. Benji hopped in on Facebook, says, "Hey y'all,
Hey, y'all.
hey y'all,
Benji.
Benji."
Violet says, I just bought the book. I'm so excited, hoping there is a bear in it. So it will be like Kenai the bear drawing will be in Kenai, Alaska. Yeah, there's plenty of bears in there.
So here I'm jumping back and forth between different brushes. Some brushes I want to feel kind of chalky. Other brushes I want softness, which is what I'm doing here.
Twitch question. How fun was it working with Cinema Therapy when they had you on for their Brother Bear episode? It seemed like you really enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. Those guys were great. I really enjoyed it a lot, actually. Yeah, they are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love watching their stuff, and so when I heard that you were getting an interview with them or doing a session with them, I was very excited.
Yeah, they were great.
They're great.
Great.
It's good. Are you using any real locations for the background paintings of Snow Bear?
I'm not using real locations. These are all made up backgrounds, but they are inspired by Baffin Island, which is up west of Greenland, northern Canada.
What did you struggle most when you first got into 2D animation?
I think it was I get caught up in the movement, caught up in the I could do a single drawing, but to envision how that thing, that character, whatever is moving, I would get all worked up on it, and I struggled to see. And then after a while, though, I realized, you don't have to think about it all at once. Matter of fact, that's one of the things I teach is you can think about mechanics and you can think about performance as two separate things. And so once I started doing that, then it started to click for me.
Are there any vintage artists that you rate who went under the radar?
Vintage artists that went under the radar. I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
Maybe some older artists from
Well,
back in the
one
day.
of my great instructors that I had when I was at Disney, that not a lot of people know about, is an artist by the name of Walt Stanchfield, and he did a lot of training for us in drawing getting story and performance into your drawings. When you're doing a pose, what's the story that pose is telling? What is it you're trying to say? And he was really great about loosening up and getting it across clearly without noodling and drawing, overdrawing, getting the clearest story in the quickest way possible. And he was great. He's long gone now, but he was just a really wonderful instructor and artist.
Zanji says, we're in a parked car waiting for a fresh pizza to be made. Well, once you get your pizza, don't get too distracted from the stream.
Yeah.
Drive safely. Do you have any favorite Photoshop brushes to use, and do you have a pack or sell a set of them on your site?
I do. I've all the brushes I use, other than Photoshop's standard brushes, because I'm using their standard just round brush right now. All the other brushes I use are brushes that I've created, and all the brushes that I've created, we sell on the site. And so one of my favorite drawing brushes is the Pastel C brush from the original custom pack that I created. And that's all on the website.
Which, by the way, that brush set is only $1, or you can get that brush for free if you sign up for a newsletter.
Yes. Yeah, go over to creatureartteacher.com, sign up for the newsletter, and that brush that I use, which is this one right here, by the way. It's just a great little drawing brush.
Teacher did can.
Yeah, and it's got some nice texture to it. This is the one I'm using right here.
In your dynamic lighting course, you mentioned a varied base skin tone, like some parts being redder than others.
Yes.
Would you go into more detail, please?
Well, just look at skin tone in general. Look at your own body, and you're going to see that the tone varies from place to place. Some places are going to have more blood on the surface. Look at the back of your hand compared to the palm of your hand. That's all I'm talking about, is that you have varying skin tones all over your body. If you look at someone's face, around their eyes is going to be redder. Oftentimes the ears are redder, or the nose is redder. Lips have a different tone, obviously. Sometimes the chin has a different tone. So those are the things you want to think about when you're considering all the different tones that you're laying down before you start thinking about shadows and everything else. So here, I'm just adding a little bit more detail. This ice. Let me blow this up so you guys can see it a little better. Now, there's going to be a lot of mist blowing by, and we're going to have foreground elements. And so a lot of this I don't have to get super detailed with, but I don't want it to, I don't want to just disregard it either.
So do you draw all the backgrounds and landscapes in Photoshop and then move them to animation program?
Yes, I do. And you can do your backgrounds in TV Paint. I'm just more comfortable with Photoshop because of the brushes that I have and that sort of thing. But you can do it in TV Paint. But I do my paintings in Photoshop and then import them as JPEGs into and different layers into TV Paint, or I composite them right in Premiere, which is my editing software. Now, even though this is covered up, we have a pan, and it's going to indicate, it'll show different parts that aren't necessarily hidden.
Instagram question. Aaron, would you ever consider coming back to Disney, not as a director, but maybe as a guest designer or for a special project?
Yeah, if it's the right project, I would do something like that, and it wouldn't. I would make sure that it wasn't a long-term commitment. I really love independent filmmaking now. I like making films with these guys, with Nick and our crew, and to go back to a big studio. That's not my drive anymore.
Sashi on Instagram asks, "Hey Aaron, I've been following you since your days at Disney. I'm a fellow animator and that also wants to start my own 2D animation channel. What advice would you have for someone who wants to get started?"
Well, obviously, it's getting the work out there, and so consistency in shooting the videos is one thing, but doing that, having an animation channel is difficult, especially for a single person, because making animation is so doggone slow. So I would recommend coming up with a simple design, not just designing character, but design art direction and everything else that will allow you to maybe get out a bit more content.
Sorry, go ahead, Dustin.
Who animated Esmeralda and Hunchback?
Esmeralda. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It may have been Ken Duncan. I'm not sure though.
June Fujimoto?
No, that's cleanup.
Hold on. Oh yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, that person was the cleanup artist.
Sorry.
That's all right. So you can see here what I'm doing. And as we get closer to the light, I'm going to add a little bit more reflected light to some of this. Like it's picking up more light. Just creating texture. I'm thinking about it as ice, but it's also got the same texture as rock and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of different planes, basically, that I'm trying to highlight in the snow.
Tony Fuccelli?
Oh, Tony Fuccelli.
Fuccelli.
Yeah, there you go.
I almost said Fuccelli, but I wasn't.
Tony Fuccelli, for those of you that don't know, who did Esmeralda, he was responsible for Mufasa, creating Mufasa. He works up at DreamWorks or Pixar now as a character designer.
Nice. Could you possibly show how the setup of panning a background shot works? I know a lot of 2D uses those repeating backgrounds for certain scenes, and I can't quite wrap my head around how it works.
A panning background? Because that's what we're doing here. So if you look at here, we've got this element right here, which is the background. Then we have an overlay right here, but we're gonna render this today as well. And then we've got another overlay that goes right here. And so I keep those elements separate, and they're saved as PNGs. So the space around them is empty, so that you can move them around and see through them. And so what that's going to allow me to do is when we get into compositing those shots together, right here. So here, whoops. here. So here's everything. This is with blowing snow, mist, and all that. What that allows us to do is I can move each element at a different ratio, and it's going to create a depth effect. So if I play this back, you'll see that the foreground element is moving faster than the midground element, which is moving faster than the background element. And all of those together, when you move them the right way and you add the effects and all of that, that's going to give the illusion of depth.
For the blizzard snow effects, do you do them in Premiere or do you ever use things like After Effects?
No, I haven't been using After Effects. The snow is either done by hand by me. Like if you look at
He animated it in TV Paint.
exactly. So if you look at this shot right here, this opening shot, all that snow is actually animated by me. I did that in TV Paint, and it's really just animated. And then this is an overlay. But the TV Paint stuff, it's really all I did was animate about 3 or 4 different snowflakes and then repeated them, shrunk them, staggered them on the timeline, and kept multiplying them until I ended up with a blizzard. So it's not quite as labor intensive and difficult as one might think it is.
YouTube or Twitch question. Hey, Aaron, I feel like my drawing level has been stagnating for a few months and I feel like I'm not progressing. Do you have any advice to give?
Yeah, I get that a lot. It means that you're about to make a breakthrough. I'll tell you that. I'm guaranteeing you're about to make a breakthrough because you're seeing that, right? My advice is change up what you're drawing. Change up the subject matter. Change up the medium. Do anything that's going to cause you to kind of get out of your comfort zone, because I think that's part of the issue. Get out of your comfort zone, change the subject matter, change the medium, any of that, and it's going to force you to think a little differently, and that'll help you break out.
So a follow-up from the panning question. So we move the layer as closer to the camera faster, right?
Yes.
The closer
Think
to
about
the
it like
camera,
when
the
you're
faster
traveling
it
in a
is.
car and you're looking out the window, as you're driving down let's say a neighborhood, the mailboxes are going to whiz by, right? And then the bushes in the front yard are going to go by at a different speed, but then the houses are going to go by at another speed. And then the forests way in the background are going to move even slower. And then when you look at things like clouds in the sky or even the moon, it doesn't move at all. Because we're looking at their perspective or their movement in relation to the distance that they are from the viewer.
For people that are just joining us, I want to let you know that we have a brand new course over at Creature Art Teacher. It is 2D effects animation with Joey Mildenberger. Joey is an awesome effects animator with over 40 feature films to his credit. He's worked on everything from Hunchback of Notre Dame all the way up through back through American Tail and all the way up through Nimona, which came out last year, and like everything in between. So it is an amazing course. He walks you through how to do smoke, fire, water, magic, rock slides, all kinds of stuff. It's got on paper, it's got digital. He does scene breakdowns, and you can follow along in any piece of software or pencil and paper, whatever you're more comfortable with. If you go to creatureartteacher.com, it is 50% off for a limited time right now.
It's awesome.
Do you use noise filters often to give your painting more texture?
No. I used to do that quite a bit. And sometimes, actually, I take it back. Sometimes I do go back and do that. I'll create like a grunge filter or something like that, and I'll lay that over my painting, and it does a lot of the work of just adding texture, like you're saying, to the piece itself. I find that I don't do it as much as I used to. I think I was using it too much for a while, and so I kind of got away from it. And over time, your style changes and that sort of thing. But yeah, I used to do it quite a bit. I still do occasionally. So I'm just adding highlights to these chunks of ice and snow to give them a little bit of volume.
Besides the huge mat boards for charcoal, What paper or sketchbooks do you recommend using when drawing animals in charcoal?
Um, well, newsprint works really well if you're not worried about, keeping it forever. Newsprint is a wonderful medium for charcoal and pastel. It just takes it really well. And it's great for sketching at the zoo. That's one of the things I love doing when I go to the zoo or draw animals from life is kind of drawing big with charcoal in person. That's always fun.
Besides the huge mat borders for charcoal, I'm just kidding. A question for Aaron. What are your thoughts on indie animation in YouTube? For example, The Amazing Digital Circus or Ramshackle.
I love it. I love that people are doing that. A matter of fact, I love it so much I want to be part of that, which is why we're trying to do what we're doing. I think it's great. I think it's really great.
What, in your opinion, is the hardest thing about being an animator or doing animation, whether it be technical, creative, or mental?
I think it's mental. It's keeping your eye on the, animation is such a slow process, and it's keeping your eye on the end. And one of the things, and the people that watch me every week can attest to this. I've been working on this project for 3 years, and one of the drawbacks of working on something like that is you look at it and you contemplate it so often that things that work after a while will get in your head like they don't work, and you end up changing things that you don't necessarily need to change. And we used to run into that issue, at Disney when, you get 2 years into a production and, and you're showing it to the crew, and all of a sudden as a director, when you show it to the crew, they're just not laughing at the gags anymore. Well, it's because they're used to it. But it can get in your head like, oh, this isn't landing. I gotta punch this up or something. And so you gotta just trust the process that, what worked before still works. You just got to get to the end.
Have you ever tried 2D animation in Blender? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I haven't tried 2D animation in Blender, so I have no thoughts on the subject. but I'm not opposed to trying it.
We are in the process of filming a 3D animation course in Blender, though.
Yeah, with Jeff Shue.
Yeah.
And that's going to be coming out in a month or two.
Martin's got a very interesting question.
Martin!
Have you ever met Walt Disney?
That question doesn't even warrant an answer. Martin.
I got one answer for you. You're fired.
I currently live in London. Do you think moving to America or Canada for work is a good idea?
No. Nope. I don't think you need to anymore. If you're talking about the animation industry, so many people live all over the world now, and they're working from home. I have lots of friends that I know that work, across the country, or they work, across the internationally, because you can now. And so, I think if you do great work, you can get it out to the studios no matter where you are. And you have the ability to get hired, really, no matter where you are. Does that make kind of a long, jumbled answer, but especially since COVID, one of the industries that actually kind of thrived during COVID was animation, because people, live action obviously suffered, but animation, people went home and they kept drawing, and so animated films continued to get made. And a lot of the companies realize, oh my gosh, we can keep doing this, and we'll start saving money in overhead as far as, having to pay for buildings and that sort of thing.
What's the most interesting thing you learned about bears while doing research for Brother Bear or Snow Bear?
One of the coolest things I found about bears was when we went to Alaska, and actually I learned this before we went to Alaska, but bears will travel. Bears are creatures of habit, and they'll travel the same paths generation after generation for hundreds of years. And not only do they travel the same path, they'll step in the same footprint as the bears ahead of them. And so you can go to certain areas in the forest, in different forests in Alaska and parts of North America, where bears have traveled, and the moss and detritus and all the stuff that falls from the trees, everything's been compressed into like a little hole and footprints that go through the forest. And some of these footprints, some of these trails are hundreds of years old. And it's from bears stepping in the same footprint as the bears before them. It's really cool.
Did you use a cloud brush for the snow dust?
No, I'm just, for what you see here, I just used airbrush, the airbrush brush.
Instagram question. Following up on the previous comment, have you ever been face to face with a wild bear?
Yes, many, many, many times.
Don't move. Don't run.
Yeah. I've been face to face with grizzly bears, black bears, many, many, many times. Matter of fact, we just had a black bear go through our front yard last night. Caught him on camera. I wasn't out there, but we've had lots of bear encounters here in Florida. But even up in Alaska, we've had quite a few encounters with grizzlies. Nick gets a lot of black bears in his yard too.
Yep,
his neighborhood.
Jesus, I thought that was a picture. Then I saw the tiny dot moving around.
Yes, we're making a background.
Making a background.
So that feels pretty good right there. So I think that's gonna work well. Let me turn on the overlay. I think I want a little bit more texture in this area, in this right here, in that area. I want to add a little bit of texture in there. Feels a little empty. I want it to feel windswept, like it's dunes. Sand and snow kind of have a lot of the same properties with wind. So what I'm trying to do here is just get these nice little textures. I want them to feed into the shadow area too.
Someone says, "Hello, Aaron."
Hello.
I guess he was at Disney way before your time, but I'm curious if you had anything to share about Ivan Earl.
Ivan Earl.
Ivan
Earl is one of the best background painters, probably the most famous background painter to ever come out of Disney. If you're curious about his work, Ivan Earl was, I don't know if he was art director or head. I know he was head of backgrounds, but all the backgrounds in Sleeping Beauty the style is based on his style. And so if you look at Sleeping Beauty, that's what he did. I'm not sure. I think he's passed away. But even after he left Disney, even up until just like 10, 15 years ago, he was still working as a fine artist and selling work that's in the same style. So really it's about, when I'm doing stuff like this, especially really organic stuff like snow and nature type things, a lot of it's just creating texture and keeping it within the right value structure.
Could you provide some insight into how rare or difficult it is to find full-time permanent employment as a 2D animator, particularly a position that offers medical, dental, 401k, etc.? I know it might seem like a strange question, but I'm genuinely curious.
It's not a strange question. I just don't have a great answer because I've been out of that world for a long time and I found a different niche, which is teaching. I do know that it's not as easy to get a job in that field as it used to be. Obviously, back when I was doing it full time in the 90s. But it's not impossible either. It's not going to, it's just, yeah, I don't know what to tell you other than that.
As a 2D animator, I mean, there's more.
Yeah, as a 2D
There's
animator.
more animation industry jobs now than there ever have been, and because there's more animation studios and more animation projects,
Exactly.
and all kinds of stuff. And actually, if you're working for a studio in the U.S., it's pretty much going to be a full-time job with benefits and yada yada yada. Now, there are a lot of freelance positions out there as well, and some of it is project to project. So it's hard to say how rare it is, to use your question, but there are a lot of jobs out there.
What are some of the qualities you think a professional illustrator or animator should have?
Well, it depends on the type of animation you're talking about, because if you're a 2D animator, I think the number one quality you have to have is draftsmanship. You've got to be able to draw. If you're getting into 3D, you don't necessarily have to draw, let's say, as an animator. But if you want to be a background designer, that sort of thing, I think it helps to draw and all that. So let's just talk about 2D, because that was one of the things I really had a hard time wrapping my head around when 3D animation came about. And that is not having to draw. That really kind of blew my mind. And but with 2D, you've got to be able to draw. And so having a wide variety of styles and versatility, I think is what's probably most important. It's getting that versatility from style to style.
And I think also being willing to be a team player. Because,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's hugely important. That's a good point, Dustin.
Yeah, because there's called a team for a reason. And
Yeah.
a perfect example that I have, I was a 3D depth artist back in the day, and I've worked on movies like Star Trek Into Darkness and Godzilla. But and at this point, I was about 4 years in. I think actually like 3 years, but we had an employee that was there for a couple of weeks, a new guy, but he was kind of struggling with the shot, and he was on this shot for like 2 weeks past deadline on past quota. And but as he was showing it to his lead, I'm seeing what he's doing wrong, and I know how he could fix it. And so I come up to him and I ask him, "Hey, I think I know a way that I could help you fix this. Would you like some help?" And he just looked at me and said, "If I need any help, I'll ask the lead, okay?" I was like, "Okay."
All right.
A week later, he got let go. Like, don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to offer help.
Yeah, basically, don't be a jerk. You
Yeah.
know, and you got to check your ego at the door.
Yeah.
That's another big one.
Did you ever have any guys like that back in your days?
Oh yeah, and they didn't last. So the people that lasted really didn't have that kind of issue.
Yeah.
Have you visited Disney World recently?
I have not.
The last time we were there was a year ago, right? For Earth Day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I forgot about that even. Yeah, I just don't. Theme parks aren't my thing. So when I left Disney, I don't really go that often.
I think that video was still my favorite.
That was
outcome.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, just the day there, like the next day, I felt the next day, but
Yeah.
the time there was great, and also I'm really happy with how the video came out. That took a lot of work to get it to where it was, but it's probably my most proud, and I still watch it every now and then.
Shea says, your streams are so relaxing. Have you ever considered reading for audiobooks? I truly enjoy your courses, and the yearly membership is the best value on the internet.
Yes, Nick and I are branching out into that industry and
Audiobooks.
audiobooks. Yes,
Audiobooks about art education.
right.
So as you can imagine here, I'm drawing a circle. And now imagine
This is my ice. This is my happy little ice.
imagine
right
I'm making a new layer in Photoshop. You can picture the interface in your mind's eye.
I'll just do all my impressions.
here. Yeah, right.
So I'm drawing a circle there. It's big. It's like an orange.
But thank you for the compliments about the membership. For people who don't know, on our website, we offer courses that can be all purchased a la carte, or we also offer a monthly streaming plan as well as an annual streaming plan. And with the annual plan, you get literally everything on the website. So that's 750 hours plus of courses, including Joey Mildenberger's new 2D effects course.
Yep.
You also get everything we release over the next 12 months of your membership. Plus, you get twice weekly members only live streams where Aaron is animating Snow Bear in real time, and you get to be a fly on the wall and join those streams. We've now crossed over 350 hours of those streams. So that's like over 1,100 hours of content if you become a member. And all the courses, by the way, are yours to keep. So you get to download them and keep them with the annual membership. And it really is, I believe, the best value in art education.
He ain't lying.
You ain't lying.
So what I'm doing here with this value, you'll notice it's a little lighter and it's a little cooler. I'm trying to create a little reflected light. It's picking up. This is light bouncing off of the ice over to the right here, but I want it to be cool and sitting in this shadow. So I'm creating this cool kind of reflected light texture.
Hey, all right.
Not cool like Fonzie cool, but cool like temperature cool.
Hey.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Iowa Takamoto?
No.
Why is that name so familiar?
He was a Japanese American animator. He worked on Cinderella and Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, never met him.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey.
Hey. Is it good to make a 3D animation and trace it to make it appear 2D? Is it a good idea to save time that way?
I don't know that it's going to save you time. It'll be an interesting style, but that won't save you time.
I mean, they did something similar to that for short back. I think it was Paperman?
Yeah.
Where it was CG animated, but then they also added.
It was a
animation.
specific style
Yeah.
choice, though. They weren't trying to save time by animating it in 3D first and then
Right.
tracing over it. That won't save you time.
I mean, if it makes it easier for you to maintain the shape and everything while doing the animation,
Still doesn't save you
but
time.
no, it's not a time saver. It'll take a little bit longer, but
By the way, for people who don't know, we have an iOS app for iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV, and they were all just updated with a bunch of new features, but one of which is you can now watch these live streams in our app. So, and we are actively now developing the Android version. So that one is coming very soon. Except it's not going to be able to be installed on any of Dustin's devices.
oh, specifically any device that I'm using.
Specifically, any device you're using.
So not for my Sony phone. You just go to Sony. Don't let anyone install on this app. So,
Artsy on YouTube asked, "Hey Aaron, I had a teacher who worked on layouts for the Tarzan movie. Does the name Sean Kolbeck ring a bell?"
No, he was probably set up in California And I worked in the Florida studio, so I didn't work on Tarzan. So yeah, I didn't know too many people from the layout department in California, if that's where he was.
Who are the guys working in the back? Nobody's.
That's
No.
my son Dustin, over my right shoulder, and my brother-in-law and business partner Nick Birch over my left shoulder.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. How hard was it for you to learn digital drawing after being on paper for so long?
You know, it really came down to having the right materials, the right devices. So I started learning drawing digitally with a Cintiq, which made things really easy. A Cintiq pen display, not the tablet, and it was great. I had no problem at all. It was a really kind of natural transition.
I had a teacher who worked on layouts for the Tarzan movie.
Come on, man.
We already did that one.
Oh,
You
did?
just read that one to me.
I read that one.
Oh, you read that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to follow up and trying to catch up on the questions. There's so many.
Will Snow Bear have an art book? Sorry if you've answered that already.
You know, we'll probably put something together. It's only a 10-minute short, so there's not a ton, but there's a lot of stuff, you know, with the storyboards and backgrounds and things that we did and that didn't make it into the final story that I think could be really interesting. So if we do one, it'll include, you know, work that wasn't used.
Jelana, I believe is how you say it, or Jelena maybe, on Twitch says, hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Do you know how to do the lights and shadows on the snow from memory or imagination?
Yes.
Or do you use reference pictures right now?
I'm doing both. This one pretty much I'm making up, but I have got stuff like this that I pulled off the internet and I'm looking at as inspiration.
Instagram question.
Yes.
Does age matter if you're wanting to start in the animation industry? I'm an artist in my 50s.
Yeah, forget it. You're too old. No, it doesn't. Not at all. Not at all.
The only thing that matters in animation is your work.
Yeah, it's your work, and you know if you can produce the work, because you know I'm closer to 60 than I am 50, and yeah, I've been in it for a while, but I've seen plenty of people my age come into the animation industry, get trained, and do well because they were great artists.
Another Instagram question. Do you ever plan on coming to the ITFS, the International Animation Festival of Stuttgart, in Stuttgart someday? Stuttgart?
We don't have any hard plans, but not against it.
Yeah. When Snow Bear is done, we are going to be doing the festival circuit. So
Yes, we are. And we are going to be, if you're in Europe, we're going to be at Annecy this year.
Well, Stuttgart's in Germany. That's right.
Yeah, I know, but we're going to be on Annecy and
In France.
in June 9th.
June 9th through the 15th.
Yeah,
In France.
and Annecy, France.
Vive la France.
Yeah.
Can you recommend a Cintiq that's a little less expensive than the one that you're using?
Well, the one I'm using is the biggest one they offer. They have smaller. I think they have a 22, a 27, and a 22, maybe.
I think so.
But they've also got the Wacom One.
Yeah, the Wacom one is like,
It's super affordable.
yeah, that one I think is like two or 300.
It's like
like
$300. Yeah, and it's or maybe $350.
I think it's what, a 13-inch screen?
It's a
Yeah, it's a
16-inch
13-inch
screen. 16-inch.
Yeah, it's a 16. Yeah, it's like a. Yeah,
I've got one,
16
and
light-
it's what I
very
use.
lightweight.
It's what I use when I go on the road,
Yeah,
and I love it.
yeah, the one. Yeah, I absolutely love it too, and it hardly adds any weight to the bag.
Oh, I know.
Like,
It's super light.
Light as a feather. I mean, while a lot of other Cintiqs, they can have a bit of heft to them.
It's 13-inch, by the way, Aaron.
Oh, it is? I thought it was 16. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I had to double check.
I mean, there is a 16-inch, but I think
They
that's
don't make-
under a different name.
Well,
It's
there
not a,
is
it's
the-
not a Wacom one.
Well, yeah, there's the Wacom Pro 16, which is
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
yeah. But you have the Wacom one.
Yes. Yeah, and I've worked on it, in front of crowds and animated on it and had no problem. I prefer working big like I'm doing now, but
But for the sake of portability,
yeah, it's really affordable.
Benji's got a question.
Yes.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Benji.
This year I got rejected from an animation school again. Basically,
They don't know what they're talking about.
basically with the reason my style of animation and storytelling is too old school. Things
make
have
any sense
things
to
have
me.
moved on. What would say
That's why you go to
defines-
school, is to learn.
What would you say defines the quote modern animation?
I don't know. I don't understand that comment, to be honest with you. I don't know what that even means.
Animation is animation.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't agree with any of that. I'm sorry. I don't know. That flabbergasts me. Good storytelling is good storytelling.
Do you have any classes that teach book illustration?
No,
Not yet.
not yet. But
it's
there's
in the
someone that
works.
we're talking to for that. We've been talking to.
There's actually a couple of people we have in mind for that.
Yeah.
What I find funny about that comment about being too quote old school.
Well, I think, yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, but like, there's companies that's like redone the whole like 20s and 30s noodle animation style, and it's a huge hit. Like Cupheads is a perfect example.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then Snow Bear's doomed because Snow Bear's totally old school.
Will you be doing any more live figure drawing workshops? I love
Yes.
the ones you're
Yes, we will.
you're drawing together, meld together.
Yeah, we will be doing that. Not for a while because I got to get
This time,
this little film done.
get it out the door.
Get it out the door. Hey, get it out the door.
Hey, get out the door.
Mary Beth suggested to Benji that, hey, he might want to try Sheridan in Canada.
Sheridan in Canada is good. Yeah.
It's a great school.
It's not a grade school.
When you start working on a particular project, do you start to notice things that relate to it in real life? I was
Yes.
working on a beehive painting once, and I kept seeing hexagons everywhere when I wasn't working on it.
It's true.
I
Yeah.
was about to ask.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
And you mentioned losing your vision or connection to a project over time. Do you have a quota that you're trying to hit on Snow Bear, or are you treating it as it'll be done when it's done?
No, we're definitely trying to hit a quota. Matter of fact, we've our deadline is August.
We have a deadline with post-production, so
Yeah. So
our composer needs the movie in their hand to be able to compose.
yeah, and I for one, I can't work unless I have some kind of self-imposed deadline. Otherwise, it'll just meander. And so I'm always thinking about, trying to hit a certain, whether it's a certain number of shots per week or a certain number of seconds per week. I'm always conscious of all of that.
And we're already developing our projects after Snow Bear, so we've got a bunch of things
Yeah.
in the works. Going back to the Snow Bear art book question, Erica suggests, I think a book about the size of your 100 drawings book would be perfect.
Yeah, I agree with you, Erica.
50 pages, that size. Yep.
Yeah.
Paperback.
Paperback writer.
This is more of a comment than a
As the
question,
kids
but
would say, that song's a bop.
where a person says, "Hey, Aaron, me and my friends went to the zoo and drew animals just like you did with Proco. It was a great experience, but very hard to do. Animals kept moving."
Well, one of my next courses I'm going to be doing after I finish Snow Bear is I'm doing a course on how to draw animals from life. Yeah.
In real life.
Claire on Instagram asks, are your live sessions still at the same time and place? It's been a while for me since my school has been during that time. Well, this is our first live stream in 2 months. So
Yeah.
we are doing, and you might not be aware of this, instead of a live stream every Friday, we're now just doing the first Friday of each month until Aaron finishes Snow Bear. So basically
Correct.
through summer. And then after that, we'll go back to probably every Friday.
Yeah.
Why do major studios still keep making CG films even when they know they're not going to be as successful as traditional?
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, for instance, Kung Fu Panda 4 just became only the 5th movie to cross $500 million since the pandemic, and it's CG.
Yeah. CG still does very well. It's not. It's really. I'm a big believer that it's not the medium. It's the. It's the story,
movies.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Like How to Train Your Dragon, one of my favorites in that. And also Klaus.
yeah, Klaus is great.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey.
Hope you're doing well. Quick question.
I'm painting a background. I'm doing great.
Klaus is not CG.
No.
No, he's just talking about story.
Yeah, story. What would it be? Or what medium? But quick question. Where can I find the best online course for 2D background painting? My perspective is a bit lacking as well as my lighting. Thanks.
Well, we've got one on our site with Armand Serrano,
On backgrounds?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll post a link in the
Yeah.
comments.
and it's very good.
For people who don't know Armand Serrano, Armand is one of the teachers on our website, and he is an amazing concept artist and visual development artist. In fact, he has a visual development course on our site. But his background, he started in backgrounds. His background is
Layout.
backgrounds.
He started in layout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did layout and background paintings, all kinds of stuff over his career. So his course is on that.
What do you do when you need a quick mental break and refresh during a long day?
I ride my bike out in the park. We do it quite a bit. I live on my house borders a state park, and it's about several thousand acres, and there's about 25 miles of bike trails out there. So we take the bike out and just replenish our mental acuity.
Again, I want to let people know we are running a big sale over at creatureartteacher.com.
A bake sale.
Bake sale. Yes. Get your muffins, get your cookies, get your Rice Krispie treats. No, we're running a big sale at creatureartteacher.com. All of our animation courses are 40% off or more. In fact, many of them are 50% off, 60% off. Some are over 70% off. So we've got courses that are only $1 right now. And that's not just animation directly. It's animation, the field of animation. So our storyboarding courses are on sale. Everything that's related to the animation industry. So go on over to creatureartteacher.com, click the link for animation courses, and you'll be able to check out everything we've got on sale right now.
So I'm going a bit darker here. I'm pushing the value range. Some of these cracks as we get kind of into areas where there's less light. I want to push the texture a bit more.
Do you like The Secret of Nim?
One of my favorite animated films.
I hate it. Yeah,
It's my wife's favorite animated film.
remember the League of the Snow.
Until she married you, and now she's contractually obligated to be Brother Bear.
Or Snow Bear. Yes.
One or the other.
As a matter of fact, for Christmas, I got her several rough animation drawings from the film.
Pretty much media says the owl in that movie haunted me for years.
I know, I love that owl.
Actually, that's
So epic.
one of the roughs you got is the owl, isn't it?
Yeah, one of the roughs I got is the owl. Yeah.
Now, what creeped me out more from that movie when I was little was the spider.
Yeah, I got one of the spiders too.
Huh?
I got one of the spider drawings too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that spider was creepy. The owl I wasn't too afraid. I just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Were there any deleted scenes from Brother Bear that ended up on the cutting room floor?
There's a lot of storyboard sequences that ended up on the cutting room floor. But once you get into animation, it's very rare that things get cut out because that's a big loss of revenue, money spent. And, you know, we want to make sure that our budgets aren't blown out of the water. So you're really sure about how a section is going to play before you actually start to make it. If you're cutting stuff left and right, then that's you're really losing a lot of money by doing that. It's different than live action where you can just set up different cameras and you know you cover yourself. Animation, you got to make it right, make every frame. So every time you have to cut a section, you're losing money.
By the way, from the earlier promotions, does the bake sale include snow bear muffins or creature cookies?
Yes, let me guess. That's a Martin question, right?
No, Zerna the zebra.
Oh, very good. I thought for sure that was Martin.
Man. Usually he's the
trickster, the jokester. I'm having fun with this ice, I gotta say.
And speaking of, Martin's wondering, am I the only one who sees a polar bear silhouette in the painting?
Yeah, right there in the top.
Yeah. Would you look at that? How was your Eclipse viewing experience?
Oh man,
We were fighting overcast in South Texas.
yeah, it was. Well, actually, it was funny because we were going to go to San Antonio. Actually, I had a hotel set up. Everything was ready to go, and then we got the weather report for Texas, and so we changed our plans. I'm actually from Vermont, and it turned out that that's I was born there. I grew up in Florida, but I still have a lot of family. My father's up there, and so we changed our plans and drove to Burlington, actually my birth town, and hung out in the backyard and had a ball and watched it, and it was spectacular. Spectacular.
Spectacular.
If you've never seen a full eclipse, a lot of people say, oh yeah, I saw an eclipse, wasn't a big deal. No, then you didn't see the full eclipse, because a full eclipse will blow your mind. They're really, really incredible.
It is truly the craziest, mind-blowing experience.
If you can kind of picture nighttime, it's like that.
But to see this glowing black disc is, yeah, it's really bizarre.
Just imagine nighttime.
And that's the other thing too. You know, it's like someone switched a light off, turned off a light switch. Really interesting the way it happened so quickly.
Well, I got a big donation from Doodle Project says, "I love your works."
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow, that's awesome.
And Shokabold is asking, "May I ask a question?
May I say something?
May I say something? May I just say something? What is the size of this snow bear background, including the DPI?"
It is. It
Huge.
is. It is 4200 by 2160 pixels at 300 DPI.
Lofi Studios asks, how long should I animate for? Because I oftentimes will forget to take breaks and find myself animating for 18 hours straight.
Well, what's wrong with that? Get up and go to the bathroom. I love that. I do the same thing.
Take a break when you feel you need it.
Yeah, take a break whenever you feel like it.
Jazz W says it got really cold when the sun eclipsed.
Yeah, you do feel a temperature change for sure.
Oh yeah, I remember when you and I went for my first eclipse experience, and where we went, it was like 90 degrees.
95. Yeah.
It was like 95,
hot.
but by the time the solar eclipse was in full effect, like it dropped down to like 70.
It did, yeah, really quick, and then it went right back up again. It was really interesting.
Pretty Much Media says, need to play the 2001 soundtrack to an eclipse like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of like the soundtrack from Dune.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dune, you can actually hear the sun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Today I watched a reel on Alan Woodbury. Have you ever worked together?
Ellen Woodbury.
Ellen. They wrote Alan, but it must be a typo.
Yeah, Ellen Woodbury. We did work together. She created Zazu from The Lion King. And but she's also an animal sculptor. She does kind of abstract, very stylized animal sculptures, and she and I have actually shown together with the Society of Animal Artists at different shows where I was a painter and she's a sculptor. She's really cool, really, really incredible artist and really nice lady.
Mary Beth J. Bellin comments about the eclipse, asking, did you get dizzy? I lost my balance during the eclipse.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I lost.
I just we set up chairs and we just kind of laid back in the chairs, like lounge chairs, and just kind of watched it that way.
Yeah, I didn't get dizzy. I just got more like I was just blown away by like seeing the everything around us.
Yeah.
Because it's not only like the temperature drops, but the color changes too.
Yeah, everything changes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because normally like when you're in a shaded area, like everything is just darker in color, obviously. But when an eclipse happens, like especially when you get under the total eclipse, everything like the color tone, the hue changes to like almost like a purple.
Yeah.
Like a purplish red.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you look around you, like when you're looking at the ground and everything nearby you, obviously everything's in the dark and in that color. But when you look out on the horizon, like say there's a tree line or something way out on the horizon, you can see the light all around you, just not where you're at.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of like seeing a patch of thick rain out in the distance.
Yeah. But it's everywhere.
Yeah, but it's like all around you. Have you worked with Salem Sabah? Salem Sabah?
No.
Sabah?
I have not. So we're slowly getting there. It's going to be a nice little background, I think, when we're done.
When will you do your next in-person meeting, like when you did at the zoo?
I don't know yet. I've got to get Snow Bear done. That's our big drive right now, is getting Snow Bear done. Then we can kind of breathe a little bit. I'm going to get back to making more courses, quite a bit actually, and we're going to do more live events too.
Merritt Andrews hopped on a Facebook.
Merritt Andrews.
Merritt says,
I know
checking
her.
in. Hello, Dustin and Aaron, all caps. Ice, ice, baby. Hi.
I'm still not sure about tonight, Merritt. We're not quite sure yet because for Favo, it's the first Friday, so we go out to Favo, which is a nice little art kind of gathering here in Orlando. And because I've still got a bunch of stuff I have to do after our live stream today.
Instagram question. Hey, Mr. Blaze, I'm working on a storybook illustration and I'm not used to drawing landscapes. I'm more of a character person. What are some starting points for drawing landscapes like this one?
Well, I think about the big abstract, and one of the things I do, like you just saw me do, so I like to flip the composition because it causes you to look at it in a different way, and you can start to see flaws in the drawing and the design, things like that. And so I'm always looking at it from different angles. Another way to do it, if you're looking at if you're doing it traditionally, is to look at it in a mirror. That's how I used to do it before I worked digitally. And but it's really thinking about that abstract composition. That's what you want to think about. It's really easy when you're working on landscapes to get caught up in the thing that you're creating, whether it's trees or bushes or whatever, and you forget about the design. And so you might render a really nice tree, but the overall design for the landscape might be lacking.
Do you have any favorite songs by Imagine Dragons?
I don't know who Imagine Dragons is.
You've heard them, but
Don't tell me who I've heard. I'm sure I've heard them.
But yeah, I've listened
Imagine
to them.
Dragons. Is that like I sound like an old guy. Is that a rock and roll band?
yeah,
yes.
they're kind of a rock band. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of.
Um,
I'm not a fan.
but like one of the ones that probably one of my favorites of theirs is from Arcane, from Arcane, which is on the League of Legends show on Netflix.
Are they hardcore?
No, they're not. They're not scream metal or anything like that. But I'll show you the song later that I'm mentioning. But it's a song called "Enemy" by Imagine Dragons, and also featuring JID.
You'd be surprised to know that Steve does not care for them.
Doesn't care for Imagine Dragons. Yeah.
Oh, is it his genre, that genre,
No,
like what you guys do?
no.
Oh. For those of you that don't know, Nick and one of our coworkers, Steve Coleman, are in a band together.
It's true.
Yes. Nick is slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass.
Merritt says, "No worries on Favo. I'll catch you another time."
Well, it's not definitely we're not going either. I'm just not sure I'm not sure if we are or not. That's all. I got to talk to my other half.
Instagram question: is this still live? Yes, we are still live.
Yeah, we're still live.
No, it's a recording. We just predicted when you were going to ask the question. Merida also says that I should come to Favo and that I should show or sell my gorgeous photography.
Yes, you should.
Like, do I need to sign up or something, like, in order to do that sort of thing? Like besides, of course.
Yeah, you should go there and check it out, though. I think you could. I'm not sure if you talk to somebody about maybe using some of their space or something. I'm not
Gotcha.
sure.
Oh, I didn't recognize her by her handle on Instagram, but the person who asked if that was still live was Gabby.
Gabby,
Gabby.
Yeah.
the Gabster, Gabarina.
Gabby.
Wow, long time no hear.
It's been a while.
In fairness, we haven't been here for 2 months ourselves.
That's true.
Jonathan Smith asks, "Where's the Les Paul?"
In the other room.
It's in my. It's in the other room. It's actually over in my father's part of the house.
Are you going to do more human anatomy courses? The one you did really helped me improve a lot.
I might do some supplemental stuff for it. Sure. I've got stuff, not just human anatomy, but like figure drawing and things like that. I've got where I talk about anatomy.
Aaron's human anatomy course is still on sale for just $1, by the way, for a very limited time. So get it while you can.
We're practically giving it away.
Mara says, "Sorry, Nick, didn't mean to leave you out." Hi, Nick.
Hello.
Hello.
I heard a new gesture drawing course is coming. Any ETA on that?
No.
Woody Woodman did a course on gesture drawing. Yes, that's currently being edited. So I'd say next 4 to 8 weeks by the time it's all done and processed.
4 to 8, not 48. In case you misheard. Yeah, it's Woody's a good teacher.
Yeah. Very much in the tradition of Walt Stansfield, right?
Yes, exactly.
So again, if you head over to creatureartteacher.com, we've got a ton of sales going on this weekend, and we've also got a brand new course out from Woody. Woody has a course on our website that's 50% off, but we've got a brand new course in 2D effects animation from Joey Mildenberger. If you check it out, it's almost 12 hours long. He teaches you to draw water, fire, smoke, magic. It's traditional and digital. He takes you through basically getting started in 2D effects animation, and he also does scene breakdowns of some of the projects that he's worked on. He's worked over 40 films. If you check it out, go to creatureartteacher.com/2D effects. 2D FX.
Ho, 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 it's magic.
You know.
I want to try something.
Erica points out that your human anatomy and your dynamic lighting in the figure course has some very good anatomy pointers in it. For the person that was asking about anatomy.
Yeah. Want to. I think I might push this back just a touch.
Julie says the background is looking amazing.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you very much.
Well, what I want to do is I want to get a little separation on this right in here. This reflected light along the edge of it was getting lost, so I wanted to push the value back in the background. So what I did is I created a layer and set it to multiply, so I'm not losing any of the value difference. It's darkening everything, but the value differences are still staying the same. Matter of fact, I can stand to go maybe even a little darker, push that down in here.
Question: in animation, do you have a small reference sketch design or concept in front of you or above you to look at when animating?
I have reference. I'm looking at things like this and this mainly for texture. The lighting I'm making up, but it's mainly for texture that I'm looking at, the way ice breaks, that sort of thing.
And when you're doing animations, do you like? I know sometimes you make thumbnails to get an understanding of what kind of movement you want in the animation.
Yes.
Do you usually have those in front of you as well as a reference source
while I'm animating?
Yeah.
Yes. Once I get everything posed out, then I don't really need them after that.
How how do we decide on the tone of a scene?
So here you can see what we've done today. Look how much we've done there.
Holy cannoli.
The tone of a scene, are you talking about the emotional tone? Or are you talking about the visual tone? I'm not quite understanding.
I think for the sake of what we're doing
Probably
today,
visual?
I say visual. I think that's
Well, it all
I
comes
get
with the art direction because, shots need to hook up with each other. The shots don't stand individual. They've got to have continuity. And so your visuals have to have continuity as well from one shot to the next. And so, a lot of times when I'm thinking about the art direction of something in a film, I'm looking at not the art direction. I look at the overall art direction, and then I think about each individual shot, or not individual shot, but each individual sequence, which is a collection of shots. They're going to have different art direction within the umbrella, under the umbrella of the main art direction. If that makes sense.
Hi, I have a question.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, Kid Fury? Have you ever been to the Netherlands? And
Yes.
so what did you think of it?
Loved it. Had a great time. Last time we were there was 2 years ago. We were in Amsterdam, Eindhoven, and really had a good time.
All over the place.
Yeah. Nick and I took a little boat ride through Amsterdam.
It was nice.
Nice.
It was nice. We enjoyed each other's company.
We did.
Got to enjoy the cafes there, man.
We tried to go to the Van Gogh Museum, but we were not able to get in.
No.
Is the human anatomy course good for beginners?
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's made for beginners. Yep.
And what software do you use to animate on?
I use TV Paint. TV Paint animation software.
That's none of your business, and I'll thank you to stay out of my personal affairs.
You're a weird guy.
Good day, sir.
Weird guy.
I say good day.
I say good day, sir. How to avoid feeling tired while animating in between frames?
Take a nap.
How to do it a little bit faster?
When you're doing animation, you're in it for the long haul. Don't rush it because it's going to look rushed. Take your time and be patient.
Sometimes
Animation is all about patience. I get so many questions from people on how do you do something faster? Is there a way to do automatic in-betweens? That's not the goal. The goal is to, that's part of animation is doing every drawing, right? And that's part of the art form and getting in there and, just doing it. And so you just got to be in it for the long haul.
slow as smooth.
And as far as
smooth
being
fast.
tired, yeah, just take a nap.
Yep.
Take a break.
I just gotta follow the quote of slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Yeah.
Simple.
Does anybody watch the show on Netflix called The Contestant?
The contestant. No.
Was it a show or a documentary?
It's a documentary. It's about a Japanese game show where it was Nusaka, I think it was his name. He was secluded in a room. They put him in a room, and he had to write to magazines to get prizes, and his challenge was to stay there until he compiled 1,000,000 yen's worth of prizes. He was naked, no food, and his prizes basically had to survive off of his prizes. He stayed secluded for 15 months.
Wow.
15 months?
While he did this. Yes.
Holy crap.
And that's just part of the documentary. When he comes out, I mean, there's the whole thing of the reveal, and what he didn't know is that it was being live broadcast, and so that was kind of crazy. But the things that he did, he's from Fukushima, where the nuclear reactor melted down after the tsunami and all that.
Yeah.
The things he did for his community and the things he accomplished after are so inspiring. The guy is just amazing. He's such a cool guy. I finished the documentary and I was just like, wow. It really moved me.
Was he like?
I really recommend it.
Was he like giving his money to?
It's just everything. He
charities or-
climbed Mount Everest to raise. I mean, he did all kinds of crazy stuff after the fact, and it's just the way he loved his community, and it's just we need more people in the world like this guy. He's super cool.
Is this on Netflix? You said
It's on. It was on Hulu.
on Hulu. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I'm
Still
sorry.
on Hulu,
It's not Netflix. It was Hulu.
Yeah. And you see that they're doing a documentary for Jim Henson.
Oh no, that's
about,
cool.
About his puppeteering.
It's about him in general.
Yeah, him in general. Yeah, like
I remember when when MGM first opened, there was the Muppet ride and all that stuff, and so Jim Henson was there quite a bit.
Oh, really?
He was at MGM, and they would have meetings. Him and Frank Oz would have meetings in our studio with executives and all. So I saw him walking the hallways a few times.
Oh, wow.
And then then he passed away pretty suddenly.
Yeah, I remember.
But it was really cool to be able to see him because I grew up. I think Sesame Street was only a year or two old when I started watching it. I started watching it in like 1969.
I remember going to the Muppet 3D experience. I just can't remember if it was MGM or if it was.
It was MGM.
It was MGM.
Yep.
It was MGM.
Yeah.
Where was it in MGM?
It was its own building.
It's
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Like the show is still there?
Yeah.
Wow. Lasted longer than the movie ride.
Yeah. I missed that ride too.
I miss it.
that was a
so
fun
much.
ride.
I haven't-
That one just went away.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
unfortunately. Yeah, I haven't even gone on the last time I went on the Star Tours ride in at MGM or now Hollywood, or been Hollywood for years now, but I haven't been on Star Tours ride since before they updated it, to where now it's like all the random locations and everything you can go through.
That's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not that.
Yeah,
long.
that
Close to it.
the last time I rode in it, it was still the flying through the ice comet and fighting the Star Destroyer, all that fun stuff.
Doing a Star War.
Doing a Star War. Go to watch your Star War.
We're getting close, you guys. I know this is a long time to watch somebody paint some chunks of ice,
Almost there.
but we're getting there.
Lightspeed David says Aaron taught me 800% more than Goblin's ever did.
Oh man, that means a lot because I love Goblin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Which is a good time to mention. Like to think we have the best value in art education at
Yes,
creatureartteacher.com.
We try. I care about you guys.
Mike Fenster says, haven't been there. Been to Hollywood Disney since it was still MGM Studios. That's
Mike.
haven't been there since MGM Studios.
Nova says, your second art book arrived safely at my home a few days ago. It's absolutely gorgeous. I get inspired with every page turn.
Oh, thank you. Where's your home?
Yeah, let us know where your home is.
Oh, we got to tell them about the one that came back from South Africa.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk.
Could you switch over, Dustin?
Oh, yes. My apologies.
So if you go to creatureartteacher.com/books, you can pick up either a normal copy or a signed copy of this Art of Aaron Blaise Volume 2 book. And this weekend only, if you're this weekend only, if you are in the USA and you use promo code USA Books, you can get free shipping on a signed copy. So use code USA Books for free shipping on a signed copy of Aaron Blaise's Art of Volume 2 book. Ironically, Nova is from South Africa.
Oh, really?
So
That is funny.
we're happy to hear you got your book, because yesterday I received a returned book of Volume 1 that we shipped out 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
3 years ago from South Africa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was in good shape. So, and it had all the correct postage and stamps on it and all that stuff. I don't know what happened.
We haven't had any complaints from anybody from South Africa saying that they didn't get their book. So it's kind of it's a mystery.
Nova says, I was so worried that the book would get lost at our unreliable postal service, but my prayers were answered. Well, apparently you're right. It is unreliable but no, generally speaking, we haven't had problems there. So I was shocked when it all of a sudden
It
came
was
back.
shocking.
I'm just more perplexed about why it took that.
Yeah, I know. That's well. Once again, I think it was just sitting on a shelf, and someone was cleaning out a storage room and went, "Hey, here's a book that didn't get."
Now, granted, 3 years ago was still during COVID and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So things were a little.
Wonky.
Is there a third book on the way? I have a folder of stuff that I've been collecting for a third book. There's no immediate plans. Before we do an Art of Volume 2, Aaron really wants to do a sketchbook.
I do.
And probably before we do Art of Volume 3, we'll also do some educational books. Like we want to do a book on character design and a book on animation.
Yeah, we want to put out our own animation book. Yep, I think that'll be a good seller.
I think those will be really popular. They're a lot more intensive.
Writing, yeah.
Yeah. Laying out an art book was not nearly as time consuming as editing and proofing copy and typography and all the stuff involved in that, let alone all the writing part of it that still has to happen. Erica says yes to the sketchbook book.
Sketchbook book.
That's what we'll call it. Aaron Blaise's sketchbook book.
We've got all my sketchbooks scanned.
Yeah. Can we call it Aaron Blaise's sketchbook book?
Yeah, there you go.
And then when we get a second one will be Aaron Blaise's sketchbook book, second book.
Second book. All right, here's our last overlay right here.
That sounds like a high request there, Mr. Ambiguous. I don't know if I can pull that off. Mr. Ambiguous is asking if I could imitate Arnold Schwarzenegger imitating Christopher Walken.
Oh, that's weird. Whoops.
I could do one or the other, but trying to mix the two together, that's a whole other yeah. Does your store ship to Brazil?
Yes.
Can't find it on Amazon or similar stores here.
Yes, we do.
You just got to go to our website.
Yeah. We only sell it on our website.
Yeah. Go to creatureartteacher.com.
DG.
And by the way, since you're asking about, or since you're from Brazil, we want to let you know that we also have several courses dubbed in Portuguese.
Yes. And we're hoping to add more soon. Does each layer have to be perfectly the same perspective? Can they be exaggerated? Ryan wants to know.
Well, they can be exaggerated as long as they all fit within the same perspective, sure.
Does each layer have to be perfectly in the same perspective?
Noble says you should put out a commentary on the sketchbook book called "A Look at the Sketchbook Book."
Yes, yes.
And when talking about the book, it's just the word book every other sentence.
Yeah.
It's an amazing book. I'm very proud of this book. I really hope that you enjoy this book too.
Go in here.
Wave Animation asks, have you ever been to Jamaica?
I've never been to Jamaica. I would love to go to Jamaica.
Same.
Jamaica me crazy.
Have you ever met the Syrian brown bear?
No. They're an interesting bear, though. It's a subspecies of grizzly.
Matt on YouTube says, I'm flying to Japan tonight for my honeymoon. I was inspired by your videos and I'm bringing a brand new toned sketchbook. Anything in particular I should make sure to sketch while I'm there?
Any of the temples, the architecture. I love drawing the architecture while I'm there. And actually, this time of year, it might be a little bit late, but the cherry blossoms are beautiful. I think there's cherry blossoms this time of year.
Yeah, I think so.
It might be a
they're
little
still
late.
blooming in DC, I think, right now. Also, when you were sketching those temples, you would go up and sometimes get them to do the kanji stamps on them too, right?
Yeah, they're cool.
So, Aaron, have you ever been to my tiny Viking country called Norway?
Never been to Norway. As close as I've gotten is either Moscow, Denmark, but never been to Norway.
Twitch comment. This is going back to the book. We guarantee you'll be hooked once you take a look at this fine sketchbook book. Truly, you'll be shook, and we're not crooks. Buy this book.
Nice.
It's very Dr. Seussian. Again, I want to let people know we sell courses a la carte on our website, and we also have membership options. We have a monthly streaming plan, which gets you streaming access to our courses. That works like Netflix. It's on sale for $9.99 a month for the first 6 months right now. Or you can pick up an annual plan that gets you everything on the website, all 750 hours of content, plus everything we release over the next 12 months. And with the annual plan, you get to download and keep everything.
I'm only seeing for a membership video.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're good here.
Yeah. So it's over 750 hours of lessons, even though the slide says 500. We've got courses on storyboarding. We've got courses on visual development. We've got hundreds of hours of animal drawing courses, things like wolves, horses, coyotes, foxes, bears, all kinds of stuff.
Oh my.
The memberships all include all of the brushes. They include all of the artist reference photo packs that we have available.
Yes.
So if you head on over to creatureartteacher.com and get a membership, it really is the best value in art education.
It's an absolute steal, folks. Amazing deals, folks.
Plus, they both include our twice weekly snow bear plans.
Any update on the drawing boxes? Asked by Martin. Just asking for a friend named Eric A. Bay. You know,
No.
he was the first person who has finished all the courses.
Not anymore. She hasn't finished.
Martin likes to be like the keeper of everybody.
Yeah. Serena on YouTube says, you have a lot of Norwegian fans. I first learned about your work way back in school. If you ever come here, I will be sure to show up.
Oh.
There's actually a possibility we might be going to Norway. I need to talk to you about that, by the way. Remember David Coleman had talked to us about
Oh, yeah,
We've had some follow-up conversation on that, so I want to
Oh,
by you.
well, there you go.
And it's after Snow Bear, so it makes it a possibility.
What a great place to show Snow Bear.
CF says that was a sick advertisement with the cubes.
Thank you.
Yep, Nick knows how to use After Effects very well. I only know the basics. Have you ever done graphic design for a PC game?
The closest I ever came to gaming was I did for Sega. Was it Sega? I did the. I worked on for just a few weeks. I did some animation for the Lion King game and for the Aladdin game.
Yeah, it was the Sega and the Super Nintendo version of Lion King, and then Aladdin as well. Aladdin and Super Nintendo are two different games, and the Sega and Super Nintendo Aladdin games are different, but the Lion King games are both the same. So if you
Oh,
work,
gotcha.
so your animation in Lion King is in both games. The Aladdin one we'll have to sit down and take a look at one day. I think it'd actually be a fun stream one day to have you play those games.
I heard they're super hard.
They are. But
I'm
they're
terrible
really
at video games.
Well, that's why it would be fun.
That'd be funny.
Conan O'Brien has a series he does called Clueless Gamer,
Oh yeah.
and he plays a bunch of games, and of course, he's just him being funny.
Oh, I think I've seen that before.
Jill says, "I just finished beating the Lion King and watched the end credits just to see your name." Oh, that's cool. Is Jill? Is it actually in there? Do you know if your name actually appears in the credits for the game?
To the game?
Yeah.
I don't think so. She just said the Lion. I thought she said the Lion King movie.
No, finished
Lion
beating
King
the Lion
game.
King game.
Oh, beating it. I thought. Oh, gotcha.
Jill, is it in there? Let us know.
I doubt my name because I only worked on it for a few weeks.
Yeah, but you did the animation of the lion swinging. That's like the main.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt my name's in there. I've never looked.
Yep, I saw Aaron's name confirmed.
Oh, really?
Wow.
That surprises me. I've never checked.
So you don't draw BGs in TV Paint backgrounds?
No, I don't usually. A lot of people do,
And you definitely can.
and you
Absolutely.
can, yeah.
The,
And,
paint,
I
the
want to make
painting
that.
tools and
I want to make that clear, but I've used Photoshop forever, and I just find it. I'm more comfortable. I'm a creature of habit, so once something works for me, it's rare that I'll change up.
someone on Twitch says, "I'd be very interested in watching Aaron play the Brother Bear video game they made for PC and Game Boy Advance."
Once again, I didn't even know there was one.
Game Boy Advance. They did one for a PC?
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Don't like that color. There we go.
Mike Fenster says, "I never beat the Lion King game. I could only get to the second or third level." Yeah, it's a hard game. I did beat it. I remember back in the day. The Aladdin one I never beat, though. Aaron, do you think you're going to miss working on Snow Bear when it's finished?
Yes, I'll definitely go through some withdrawals.
But we're going to be going right into
Yeah.
tons of other stuff. So, do you have any thoughts on Toon Squid for iPad/iPad Pro? You haven't used it yet, right?
I haven't used it. No.
I've heard good things. Apple has an iPad event coming up on May 7th, and we're all hoping they make a giant iPad.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done. Let's save this and
Make sure you zoom in and pan and scan and
yeah.
get a nice full screen look at it.
So there's our background. Yeah. It looks a little blown out on the TV there, but maybe that's just your monitor, Dustin.
Perhaps. I mean, it's
But
yeah. Here's how it looks on.
okay.
It's still a little more blown out.
Yeah, it's not quite as blown out. But
Your screen is low again.
No, it's a huge shift. You can tell.
But yeah, so they're not seeing a lot of the detail because it's blown out. I've got very subtle value changes and details in the background.
Should we post the final image online when we're done?
Yes.
We'll post it online. So check our Instagram and Aaron's Instagram and YouTube, or not YouTube, Aaron's Instagram and Facebook pages. We post on X or Twitter and all that stuff too.
So what we're going to do now is I got to turn off each element. So we're going to go back to the background. There we are there. And I want to save that. So I got to save a copy. Well, first of all, let's do this. Cancel. I'm just going to save it. This is A2 Alt recovered. Now I'm going to save a copy. And I want to replace the shots. This is A2 Alt 2 BG. Let me make sure that's right. Because what I want, I've got several versions. Yes, so that's what I'm going to replace. A2 Alt 2 BG. Let me go into Premiere, make sure A2 Alt 2
Julia
BG.
says,
Yes.
I'm definitely going to go through withdrawal or sorry, I was reading two comments. I'll definitely miss Snow Bear when it's finished. Yeah, they're going to go longer than us because we're going to be in a whole bunch of post-production stuff, and it's going to be a while before we can actually show it to anybody.
I know.
But our weekly member live streams, we're going to be shifting over to other projects, so they'll continue to be.
Okay, so there's our BG. And then we want to bring up our overlay, which is here, and turn off the BG.
Real quick, Joey Mildenberger is here, and he says it's definitely fun listening in on you guys.
Hey, Joey!
Yeah, Joey.
Hey,
Good time.
Joey's course is out. We've been plugging it all stream, but be sure to check it out. If you go to creatureartteacher.com/2D effects, you can get Joey Mildenberger's brand new course. And we're planning on having Joey on some future live streams as well.
Okay, so there it is. A2 Alt 2 overlay. We're going to go to here. That's a PNG. A2 Alt 2 overlay. And let's make that a PNG. One of the things I love about working in Adobe and working with Premiere is when I update my backgrounds, it automatically updates what I have cut into the reel. It makes things very nice. Okay, so there's that one. And then we're going to do the overlay, which is right there. Save a copy. We're going to make that a PNG. And it's A2 Alt 2 Overlay 2.
I can see Aaron Blaze attempting to make an indie 2D animation project and bringing back the old Disney style. I'd love to watch and support that. Well, that's what we've been doing with our film
Yep.
Snow Bear.
Yep. Matter of fact, when we get this done, I'll play the first several minutes.
Don't show all of it.
No, and I can't play it with music, so it's going to sound a little dead. So I'll narrate through it. So let me make sure I've got this A2 Alt 2 Overlay 2, A2 Alt 2 Overlay 2, PNG, save. Good. Replace. Okay.
Do you prefer lions or bears?
I like lions and tigers and bears. I like them all.
Oh my.
All right, so now that it should be updated now, and I'm just going to render entire work area. This will take a second because
Mary Beth says she loves the course, Joey, on YouTube. Joey's watching on Facebook, so I'm relaying the comments to him.
all right on. So here we go. So there's our first shot. And so the next one, you're going to see what we painted today, but it's going to be, there it is. Oh, where's my overlay? The overlay's not there. Where is that? Something didn't save right. Let me go back.
Joey says, I'm working in my new shop cutting wood. It reminded me of your dad. Say hi to him for me, will you?
Yeah. A2 Alt 2 overlay.
Twitch comment, Alt 2, Brute.
Why is that not there?
You're just saying an actual file?
Yeah, why? Oh, did I not save it right? No, it's right there. Pass there. No, I'm confused because it's listed. A2 Alt 2 overlay 2 right there.
Right click it and go show in bin or show in scroll down more. Or reveal in project.
Yeah, right there.
So it's there. It's just not showing as visible.
Yeah.
Well, oh, it's behind another layer.
No, it's just fog.
Are both fog, you sure?
Yeah. Right here and right there. Oops, right there. There we go.
You turned it off.
There we go. That's the fog. There's the fog.
Right.
Let's just turn everything off. So we'll just start with that. So there's the old shot underneath. There's our new BG. There's fog. There's snow in the distance. There's our new mid-ground overlay. And then that's not showing at all. That's what I don't understand. I wonder if it got moved somewhere. Let me try something. Let me go here.
It's there. It's right there.
I know. That's why I'm wondering
Drag it back over.
if it's over here. It got moved somehow. That's weird that it's not in a...
Is it not the same size as the original one?
Maybe
It's got to
that's...
be the exact same size if you've already got a move on it.
Yeah.
You don't have a move on it, right?
No, I do have a move on it, yeah. But it should have just updated.
It should be it needs to be the exact same size. Because if it's, yeah, people are saying, make sure the position is the same.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move take the move off of it, and I'll redo it. So here,
Is Tony Cipriano the same person who gifted you the Snow Bear maquette you have on your Disney display desk?
yes,
Yes, he is. One and the same. And he's got a bunch of courses on our website where he teaches ZBrush as well as clay sculpting, all kinds of stuff.
oh, I know what happened. Doggone it. I didn't move it over. What an idiot. I gotta do this. I gotta move this whole thing. Let's turn this back on. I'm not quite done yet, guys.
One more thing.
One
more
Yeah.
thing.
Pew, pew, pew. Thing.
One more thing.
And we gotta turn this on. I'm a dummy, a Dumas. So let me move this over. This should have been over here.
How long would you say it would take for one person to animate an entire 2-hour animation with backgrounds and characters, etc.?
Yes.
Well, it's taken Aaron 2 years to animate 10 minutes.
Yes, that's right.
So if you're going to do it at that level, times that, what an animated film typically is 80 minutes. You said 2 hours, but
Nova asks.
Yeah, yeah, about that exactly. Sorry, I'm focusing on this, trying to figure out where I'm at here.
Okay.
how much storage space do you recommend for production like Snow Bear?
A lot.
I was just about to ask that question before I got cut off. But
I can tell you how big the folder for Snow Bear is so far.
Yeah, it's huge.
huge. Yeah, a lot of the even like a lot of the courses that we film in end up being pretty high in storage. And we're
That's what I
between
did wrong.
500 gigs to a terabyte, more or less. Like any big production requires a lot of storage.
Just got to do that simple. And I need to erase.
Imagine Christopher Walken narrating one of Aaron's animations or one of the characters.
Be fun to animate. Okay, so now we've got this. I've moved it over. That's where I wanted it. That's where I wanted it to start. So let me resave this. Sorry, guys. All right, so now let's do this. File, save. PNG. And this is A2, Alt 2, Overlay 2. Replace. Replace.
Oh, that's a good question. Dustin Wilson is asking, how many terabytes is the Birds course?
Yeah, a lot.
Well, I know the raw footage was very large in storage, but yeah, even the edited footage or the edited course is quite up there.
Oh, yeah. So I don't think I didn't save it. The changes I made in the move, I didn't save it. So I quit out of Premiere. I'm going to open it back up, and I'm going to have to re-update everything again. Oh, actually, it should automatically update when we open it. Come on, baby.
Come on, baby.
Let's go ahead and play that really quick. It might skip a little bit because I haven't rendered it. Yep. It skipped. Let me render it. Sorry, guys.
Have you ever made a short film by yourself?
That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing with Snow Bear.
That's what he's.
Okay, so let's see where we are. So here, the first shot is playing out. There's the second shot. I just got to move it over more. But there it is.
Scoot over.
There we go. And then that's going to be our next shot. So I'm going to do one more thing.
One more thing.
You idiot. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is chilly in here.
Our
I
legs
think-
are freezing up.
Looking at all the Arctic drawing is probably not helping psychologically.
No.
YouTube comment. You have a huge goatee.
It's like your goatee deleted your chin.
And I just shaved it.
Have you seen the new Godzilla King Kong movie yet?
No, I haven't. I'd like to see it actually.
Yeah, I would love to see it too. I haven't seen. I didn't even realize it was out already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been
Oh, has it?
actually more than that even. Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
think it's been out for a month. So here we go. Once again, let's play it again, Sam. So there's our first shot, our effects. We're going to see what we just painted today. Come back up again. There we go. That's more like it. There's our foreground element.
Ain't she a beauty?
What do you think, Nick? You think that's enough?
Looks good. Yeah, looks perfect. Look.
We can see everything there. We got our mist coming through nice. Does it feel like it's the same tone as, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that all the blues and everything, the blue grays match from shot to shot.
I don't know if it would actually happen in this lighting condition because of the fog and the snow, but it might be kind of cool to have like a little glint
Oh, yeah.
catching the edge of the.
That's a good idea. Like one of the sparkles that I've animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. So, shot number 2 right here is done.
Woohoo!
I like that. And that's going to cut nicely with this shot as we move down. So all the basically all that kind of stuff that we did today, that's what I need to do in the ice up here. And I'm going to do that on Tuesday with our live group.
Are
gonna-
these snow particles hand drawn or a computer generated effect? It's
The-
actually a mixture. So in
It's a
some
mixture.
shots,
Yeah.
they're drawn all the snow is drawn by hand, and in some shots they're an overlay, which is like
Yeah, none of them are computer or computer simulations.
there's no particles.
Yeah, there's no. This first shot I animated by hand, the snow effects, including that pixely snow blowing across the bottom. This is an overlay, but I'll probably end up creating my own snow effect there as well.
This makes me want to.
And this is I animated the snow in this shot as well.
This makes me want to crack open a Coors Light and tap the Rockies.
I was thinking more of popping open a Coca-Cola.
So now that we're here, let me mute.
Martin says, "Thank you for another great live stream. One of my favorite backgrounds of Snow Bear."
So I've muted the music so we don't get called out on it, but I'm leaving some of the sound effects.
And we'll
So
play
we'll-
some of the short. For
Yeah,
people.
we're going to play some of the short. So this is what we've done so far. So the section we're going to show you is pretty much, with the exception of some shadows here and there, we're pretty much in the can with. It's the second half that I'm still working on. But this is you can hear him breathing. But he's walking along, and this is our introduction. We wanted to establish a big, open, empty landscape, cold, which is why we put him really tiny down on the bottom. Lonely.
It's weird without the music.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. And all of this was kind of experimental. We like him walking into the light. We really weren't quite sure how to do it, so we just animated the light right onto the fox. This section here with the whales, this took, I think, 3 months to animate. There's just a lot of pencil mileage.
Might have even been longer than that.
Yeah. There's the underwater sound. This shot coming up is 18 seconds. This one right here. This took a long time. This took a long time. And it's interesting too, getting the right color to make it feel underwater. Because he's not white, even though you think he's white, he's not. He's like a green. When you see this color on a white background, it's almost really, it's really green.
Nova says, I can't hear any sound from the film.
No, we don't. I don't want you to because I don't want to get flagged on it. So I purposely turned off the sound.
But yeah, the music we're using right now is a temporary score.
Right.
So the final score is going to be done by a composer. So the score that we're using right now is just for mood and tone. It's pretty standard animation practice. And so it would get caught by YouTube.
Right. We don't have an original score yet. So
We don't want to get copyright issues.
yeah. So, but hopefully by August, that's when Mark Mancina, who's our composer, is going to come on and score the whole piece for us. And we will have original music for the first time in 3 years of working on this. Which is going to sound weird because we've been living with this temporary score for 3 years now.
You said the same thing happened with Lion King, right?
Yeah. When we made Lion King, when we got the original, the real score in, some of it was great. Other parts of it was hard to get used to.
We should stop it right after the sun.
Yeah.
Like when he's got his arm around him.
Yeah. It feels like a nice place to stop. So this is what we're showing you basically is the first 4 minutes or so. But it's a 10.5-minute short. So if you want to see me finishing this up, become a member over at creatureartteacher.com and you can join us every Tuesday and Thursday. All of our principal character animation is done. So now I'm going in and doing things like the backgrounds and adding shadows and doing effects and things like that.
Martin asked, did Aaron just publicly name the composer for the first time?
No, I've been telling you guys about the composer for quite a while, actually.
Well, we've only said it in the private streams. I don't think we've said it in the public streams.
Oh, true. That's true. And there we go. So
Mark Mancina gave us permission to do so we're in good shape.
There he is. So there is Snow Bear.
So far.
Yep.
So far.
Well, here you go. I'll give you a sense. Here's the timeline. So that's how much we just showed you. That's how much you didn't see all the way to the right of that. So there's quite a bit in there. And let's jump back. Let's jump back to our little shot here, shall we?
How long will this short be?
10 minutes and 23 seconds and 18 frames.
How long will this short be?
So there we go. There's our little shot we did today. I'm happy with that. We took it from the rough drawing stage to a finished background. And so that's, you got to see how we do that in Photoshop. And it was fun. You want to go down the sales again real quick, Nick?
Yeah, so if you head on over to creatureartteacher.com, we've got a brand new course from Joey Mildenberger. It's a 2D effects animation course. Joey's an awesome animator. He's been in the industry for nearly 40 years. He's worked on over 40 feature films, plus countless television productions, video games, all kinds of stuff. And the course is getting started in 2D effects animation. It's almost 12 hours long. It's 50% off for a limited time. So go get it for its special intro price. We've also got, in celebration of that course, we've put all of the animation courses on sale for 40% off or more In fact, we've even still got Aaron's Procreate Dreams course for just $1. So head on over to creatureartteacher.com, pick up some good deals this weekend. Most of those offers end on Monday, so this is your chance to get in on those great deals. And then also, if you're in the USA, you can still order a signed copy of Aaron's book, The Art of Aaron Blaze Volume 2. You can get free shipping on that if you use promo code USA Books, USABOOKS. So that's all I got.
There you go. Well, that was fun today, you guys.
It was
I enjoyed
fun.
that immensely.
It was a blast.
It was. I'm going to put that right there. It was a blast. So it was a graveyard smash.
You know what? You know what I just realized? I didn't make a single Mr. Freeze pun
Oh,
during this entire thing.
that's
It'd be
crazy.
perfect for this right now.
Well, thanks a lot, you guys, for hanging out. We're going to be back again in a month on the first Friday of June. I can't believe we're already approaching June. Or if you want, like I said, if you want to catch me every Tuesday and Thursday, come on over to creatureartteacher.com and become a member. Not only are you going to have access to over 700 hours of art education and brushes, you'll also be able to watch us make an animated short. So it's pretty cool. I hope you guys have a great month. Be safe. Going out there and put some beauty back into the world, because that's what we do as artists. And be good to everybody and each other and all that good stuff.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. All right, you guys. Have a great one. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.